or demanding cargo to let people into the port. We've seen people travelling around asteroid belts as vigilantes. There are a lot of... we've also actually seen the rise of non-lethal pirates. So in the UK there was a guy called Dick Turpin who was a highwayman who used to hold people up on Epping New Road, which is near where I was brought up. But he didn't kill people. His famous phrase was, "Your money or your life." So he would threaten people with a gun, but he didn't kill people. They would give him their money, and then he would let them go on their journey. And what was quite interesting is, therefore, he was seen as being less bad than the other highwaymen who would just kill their victims and steal whatever they could. And so what we've done is we've brought in, and this is something working with backers as well, we brought in mechanisms where we've got non-lethal weapons. So, for example, something called a limpet that goes and attacks the cargo bay, and it essentially breaks off the cargo bay, and then the cargo will start spewing out into space. So you can take their cargo, and the victim won't be able to stop it, but it's non-lethal because they couldn't just go on their journey.
So also talk about how this game is not so much a numbers game, but more of a skill-based game. Like, it doesn't matter how strong your laser is. If someone has a weaker laser, he can still take you out if he's a better skilled player. Absolutely.
It's a seat-of-the-pants game, and there is a lot of depth to it. So you fly around to start with, and you can pick that up really quickly. But there's a lot of richness, diverting power to shields and all this sort of thing, which you can do very quickly, or to engines, or to weapons. We've seen some amazingly skilled pilots playing with flight assist off, which is a way you can play the game stealthily. So we've got a stealth mechanic in space. Real life science in space shows that it's very hard to get rid of heat when you're in space. What we assume is there's a heat pump that creates radiators that even glow red. You can see them, but they radiate so much heat it makes you very, very visible. So what we've got is a button to shut down vents over these sort of panels over these vents, heat vents, and suddenly you disappear off people's scanners. It's a bit like holding your breath. And the sort of skill people can do there, they can lurk in an asteroid belt and then jump out at you out of surprise. So a lot of that is skill-based as well. That gives you quite an advantage.
And talk about how you've seen players affect the world economy in your game.
Well, we've seen people trying to destabilise stock markets. After all, that's what they're there for. We've seen emergent behaviour in relation to, this is in the beta, on a system called Erenin, where rebels were fighting against the federal government because taxes had risen, and lots of players were running guns to the rebels, supporting the rebels, until the rebel leader gave a speech. And he said, "Comrades, thank you very much for supporting us." And actually, it's funny, a lot of players switched sides because they didn't realise they were supporting communist rebels.
So, if people wanted to find out more about Elite Dangerous, where would they go?
EliteDangerous.com. The game is already in Gamma. If you want to join us, it's $50 today to sign up to pre-order the game, and you can play the single-player practice missions before the release, and then the price will go up to $59.95.
And then will it be a monthly subscription or just pay to play?
No subscription. You will then be able to play the game, and hopefully you'll have a great time.